allergies are annoying, and I can say that as someone who doesn't even have any. Like, why do some people's bodies just need to react that way to stuff that should typically not be dangerous, like peanut butter or pollen? But what are allergies anyway? And can you have an allergy to anything? Today, we're gonna answer all that and more, so make sure you stick to the end. First, what are allergies and what exactly happens when you get an allergic reaction? Well, the definition for allergy is pretty wide, but it's basically a condition of the immune system that causes hypersensitivity towards a substance that is normally innocuous. These substances are called allergens, and they can range from the most common ones like pollen to stuff like nickel. Yes, like the one in coins. So does that mean anything can be an allergen? Well, to find out, we're gonna need to see what's happening deep inside. As I said, allergies are a condition of the immune system, which is basically the defense system for your body. The immune system is great. It protects you from bacteria, viruses, harmful substances, and even dangerous cells. It does this using white blood cells, of which there are two main types: lymphocytes, which control the immune response and generate antibodies to destroy pathogens, and phagocytes, which chase pathogens and literally just eat them whole. Not everything's fun and games though, as on the outside all of these may cause swelling due to the concentration of white and red blood cells and stuff like fever. The thing is, these cells normally only target dangerous microbes and substances, but when you have an allergy, they start targeting something they shouldn't, and you get the collateral effects of an immune response without actually getting rid of any danger. But why do some bodies fight against these random harmless substances? Well, as with many other things, it's about genetics. Specifically, it depends on the genes that control the body's responses to the different molecules or groups of molecules, like the ones shown on screen. And this is shown by the fact that identical twins have a whopping 70% chance to share the same allergy, or that allergies in people with allergic parents are more frequent and intense. However, this doesn't answer the question of why a dominating species, the result of billions of years of evolution of fine-tuning to biological perfection, would acquire such an inconvenient flaw with such frequency. And here's where a very interesting idea, the hygiene hypothesis, comes in. You see, most allergic reactions seem to be driven by a type of lymphocyte called type 2 T helper cells, or Th2 cells. However, many bacteria and viruses cause Th1-driven immune responses, and this actually suppresses Th2 activity. This has led many scientists to conclude that, due to the increase in hygiene in the modern world, Th1 cells have become understimulated, so Th2 activity isn't suppressed as much anymore, and allergies are much more common now. In other words, we have better health now, so the immune system got bored and started to fight random things. But this is actually quite well founded. Like, for example, allergies are much less common in developing countries, and they get more common in immigrants the longer they spend in developed countries. Also, babies who take antibiotics are much more likely to develop stuff like asthma later on in their lives. Now, back to our previous question. Can you actually have an allergy to anything? Well, given that these mutations are random and could technically happen in any way to any gene, yes, you can. And this can actually give us some very nasty allergies. In fact, there are people who are allergic to water, a condition known as aquagenic urticaria. These people get rashes and hives every time they get wet, and this even includes sweating and crying. Luckily, this doesn't happen with the water inside them, but yikes! And even though you can technically only be allergic to substances, some people react to sunlight because they're allergic to compounds produced when sunlight reaches the skin. But to this list you can add any substance you can think of. Like, imagine being allergic to money or, I don't know, plastic or dirt. Although let's remember that allergies can not only be annoying, but life-threatening. When an allergic reaction is serious enough, it's called anaphylaxis. Really, you could get this from anything, but peanut butter and cow milk, for example, are more common causes. Allergies to insect stings are also particularly prone to causing anaphylaxis, as the venom goes directly into the bloodstream and the body tends to overreact more strongly to it. Anaphylaxis can cause things like low blood pressure, extreme swelling, obstruction of the throat, and even... Okay, how do I say this without YouTube banning me? biological game over, meaning that immediate intervention is necessary. But how exactly do we stop such an allergic reaction before it's too late? People with severe allergies use antihistamines to halt allergic reactions. Antihistamines are, as the name suggests, substances that inhibit histamine, which are compounds involved in the communication of signals in the immune system. This means that antihistamines can prevent the immune system from further fighting the allergen, taking effect around 30 minutes after consumption. But what about when you have an even more serious reaction, like the aforementioned anaphylaxis? You can't afford to wait for half an hour. In such cases, we use adrenaline, also called epinephrine. It's a hormone that is usually involved in the body's fight or flight response. That is, when you encounter some danger, the body releases adrenaline, which boosts quick reaction and increases your strength temporarily by increasing blood flow to muscles to guarantee a quick escape. However, it's also very useful because it increases blood pressure and opens up airways, counteracting the dangerous effects of anaphylaxis. That's why medical companies have created products like the well-known EpiPen, a handy epinephrine injection for people in danger of anaphylaxis. For prevention or the treatment of chronic or long-term reactions, unfortunately the best we have is basically anti-inflammatory medicine and just avoidance of the allergen in question. However, this isn't the case for all allergens. For environmental ones, insect bites or asthma, immunotherapy, in which the patient is exposed to gradually increasing amounts of the substance, can be effective in reducing their sensitivity. For most food allergies, though, the best you can do is hope for them to go away on their own as the immune system changes and matures over time, especially in children. This is why many children who have milk or egg allergies, for example, eventually grow out of their allergies after some time. So I hope you understand allergies a bit better now. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to help this channel grow. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.